Hello everyone and welcome to the creation of Appalachian Striker. Today we will be going over the concept put behind the original creation, how it was put together, and things you might have missed. In future episodes of The Creation Of, we'll be including answers to any questions viewers may have about a specific creation that is getting featured. To know when future videos are coming out, what the next feature creation might be, or just to simply participate in events, giveaways, and discussions, join our Discord server. All you need to do is type the URL appearing on screen now, or click the Discord link in the description to join. Now, let's take a look back on where the idea for Appalachian Striker came from. The original idea for Appalachian Striker came from a roller coaster located in a light water valley called the Ultimate. This roller coaster is a full terrain coaster where the only track segments to actually elevate above the ground are the lift hills. All of the parts of the track are hugging the terrain for a duration of the ride. This ride is a steel roller coaster that uses wooden support beams on the lift hill. The Ultimate has been operating since the 17th of July 1991. It has a track length of 2,268.3 meters, track height of 32.6 meters, and speeds up to 80.5 kilometers an hour. The information displayed about this roller coaster can be found on Roller Coaster Database, which the link for can be found in the description of this video. After discovering about this roller coaster and thinking about ways to use similar elements in Planet Coaster, I decided to take my own version, following the same concept as the Ultimate. The first step in creating this roller coaster was coming up with a right coaster type and a plan for how to execute the surrounding scenery, the on supports, and the mixture between wood and steel. I came up with using the Power Up coaster as this standard track type 2 is a tall frame that would work perfectly for the terrain hugging supports. This also saves me time on any previous plans for custom supporting. The next step was the wooden supports for the lift hill. I came up with a simple solution of using a wooden roller coaster that's just going to clip barely underneath the steel track. So I got to work with raising the terrain randomly at certain points of the map, placing the station on elevated points of the map. I proceeded to make the pre-lift segment, the lift itself, and finally the drop. Following the drop were airtime hills along with a few curves here and there. I did this step for at least about 4 to 5 times until I had the first half of the ride that I was finally happy with. For the second half of the ride, I wanted to have a few more curves along with another straight segment with small hills that would make it look like the tall track from the Power Up coaster were acting as supports for the hills even with the slight elevation changes. Now, the last issue I faced was getting the train back to the station as it did not have the momentum to climb back up to the station, so I added a third lift hill. The first thing I did when it came to the scenery was the station. This is because typically stations are the most tedious parts to build when creating a ride. Not because it's difficult, but because to me it's mostly the same usual building style, so I wanted to just get it out of the way so I can just move on to more of this fun stuff. After completing the station, I got some tents put up for the train storage area. Once that was completed, I got to work on the wooden support structure of the lift hills using the wooden roller coaster. This took a bit longer than expected as it took some time to get the alignment just right. This is due to trying to get it to line up in directional wise and also lift hill angle. But I also decided to take a little bit of advantage with having the track of the wooden roller coaster kind of like bang side to side to make the wooden railings look like they're not actually perfectly aligned, but just a bit like old, outdated, and just like kind of like falling apart a little. Now that the general structures are complete, I could start working on fixing any terrain issues, adding in the trees around the coaster, a few bushes, and finally something a little fun for the final video itself. A few viewers might remember seeing something a bit out of place, perhaps 3 things. These three things were references to previous creations on the channel for any eagle eye viewers to find during the video. They were also teasing possible future creations. These included Pirates of the Caribbean recreation thumbnail, the old Castle Spin logo with the broken castle, and finally the Son of Beast loop. These were all teasing something that could happen on the channel within the near future, such as Pirates of the Caribbean showing up in its third and last version of the recreation, Castle Spin teasing the possibility of something being built alongside a similar idea / concept, and finally the Son of Beast loop with the possibility of another big wooden coaster creation. After completing the references, I started making screenshots for the teaser images and touching up any last minute details. The video was recorded, which took about 2 to 3 hours to do as OBS was acting up and to record the multiple takes of the train going through the circuits. This video was finally uploaded on the 30th of August 2018. I am more than happy about the way this roller coaster turned out. The only issues I do have about it is the fact that it required me to use the powered launch instead of the proper lift hill. This is due to the coaster type I selected. If I were to go back to change anything about this creation, I would probably extend the layout just a bit on both the first half and second half, as they do feel just a bit short in my own opinion, but that could just be me. The Appalachian Striker had a total track length of 1,815 meters, which is completed in a total ride time of 154.1 seconds. The ride reaches speeds up to 42 kilometers an hour, the tallest dropping 52 meters. The ride has G-forces reaching up to 3.51 vertical Gs, negative 0.67 in the negatives, with 1.27 lateral G-forces. There is a total of 5 airtime counts with a total duration of 3.7 seconds. The EFN, or Excitement, Fear, Nausea settings are 3.54 Excitement, 2.40 Fear, and 0.36 Nausea. Now, let's talk about the logo. Okay, so this isn't exactly part of the creation itself, but this is to go along with the video that I made for the creation, which is what this video here is about, discussing what took place behind the scenes of making the video and what took place with trying to make the creation itself. So now we're going to talk about the logo, which is going to be the final thing on this video. And it was one of the hardest things to do, because like, to create this logo, you have to, one, find a design you really want to use, and finding the right style or look to go with it. So after going through a few designs of my own and scrolling through Google Images for ideas and styles, I came up with one that you see today. I started off with writing out the name of the ride, Appalachian Striker, using a font called Tarzan. I then used a bulge tool to distort the text ever so slightly, followed by a drop shadow effect placed on the separate layer. I then created a text outline that could function as the banner for the text. Soon after came the scribble effect that would make the banner appear to be scratched up, and finally a drop shadow on the banner. Once everything was in place, I beveled the text and the banner for one last effect. Thank you so much to everyone who came out to watch this video to see what was involved with creating the Appalachian Striker creation, both with the video and with the ride itself. If you guys would like to know more about the stats about the Ultimates, you can find the link to the source that I use, which is Roller Coaster Database, in the description below. The original video is also in the description if that's what interests you. And once again, if you'd like to join the Discord server to participate in discussions, events, giveaways, even seeing what future videos or streams are, the link is appearing on screen right now and is also in the description. All you need to do is click that link and then you'll be in the server. If you guys have enjoyed this type of video where it's talking about the creation of, insert this creation here, please let me know in the comments below and I'll get to work on creating more of these type of videos. But let me know in the comments below which creation you want me to do next. I think I'm going to work on the Yukon Striker one, discussing what was involved with trying to recreate it accurately, along with the prediction layouts. If that interests you, let me know. And once again, I would like to involve some questions that you guys might have about the creation and answer them in the video near the end. And if that interests you, and if you have any questions, once again, leave them in the comments below, and they'll be featured in the next video. And even if it's not about Yukon Striker itself, and if you have a question about a different creation, feel free to leave it. Honestly, any creation that I've ever made, you can ask about any of them. And who knows, maybe I'll do behind the scenes of that creation. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as usual, I'll see you guys next time.